Welcome to The Walking Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're talking about Season 6, Episode 9, titled No Way Out. It's the mid-season premiere. What'd you think of it?
It's episodes like this that I really wish I didn't know some of the major beats coming. Like, I would have genuinely liked to be startled at Carl getting shot, his eye blown out.
Right.
That was just like it was out of the comic. I thought it was well executed. In fact, I thought a lot of this episode was well intentioned and envisioned, but there's just some really puzzling lack of giving a shit about continuity and the way things are filmed. And coming from Nicotero, who's usually pretty solid, am I misremembering the fact that he's solid?
I think he's pretty solid.
I mean, the zombie effects are definitely there.
Right. I don't remember how he is directorially.
Yeah. But I thought that there's actually all the pieces are there for this to be a really great episode. It's just the execution was problematic. And it's little things. Well, not little things. Big things.
Huge
like,
things.
Is it day or is it nighttime? Is it raining? Is it not raining?
Right.
Is it supposed to be? Was it raining on set and you tried to film around it and there's a few sprinkles and we weren't supposed to be thinking, oh God, what's going to happen with this time?
Or was it raining in the story, but it was just a sprinkle and
you decided, this is already way too complicated. Let's scale it back. Who knows?
I don't know. There's so much continuity stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
I feel like this is another par for the course Walking Dead thing. Though.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Walking Dead doesn't give a flying fuck about its continuity.
Yeah.
If you guys have a problem with it, if you don't want walkers coming around eating people out of nowhere, too bad. If you want it to be a logical day to night sun cycle, too bad.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, stealth zombies, that's just kind of the way the show rolls.
Right.
But even if you don't have the budget to wait around and get the appropriate twilight sunlight, there's ways to shoot around that with different filters. And unfortunately, I think in my mind it was raining on set and they were trying to get this all into a particular window, so they're shooting around the rain. So when you see the streets are wet or there's a little pitter patter in the foreground or there's like splashes of water on Denise's glasses, those aren't supposed to be happening in universe. And that I assume it was raining, so I was seeing that their attempt to do the dusk shoot was coming across as overcast, but I think it was supposed to suggest twilight.
It didn't work.
No.
Nothing they did there was working.
No, I mean, I know there's ways you can color shift and do different things.
Yeah, in editing, sure.
But I don't feel like they did the right things, and it felt like yet another completely jarring thing.
It was, totally. Of course, The Walking Dead wouldn't be The Walking Dead without its problems in that area, and it's kind of cool action sometimes, right?
Sure.
Like, that's one of the things that Walking Dead gets right.
Yeah.
Is zombie makeup effects, it's action. I felt like it hit those notes in this episode, and it was pretty exciting. It might have been, like you said, more exciting had you not known what was coming. Had we not had last week the detail, like scene-for-scene spoilers.
And that's another thing, like, if you want to get really meta, putting Glenn in jeopardy this quickly after putting him in bullshit fake jeopardy. As I was watching it, I think I would have been really invested and frightened, except for in the back of my mind is like, no fucking way are they going to kill him.
From the dumpster to the...
When we just saw him escape from 50 million zombies underneath a dumpster, there's no way that they're going to kill him just like that.
Yeah.
There's no way. And as I was having that conversation in my mind rather than like with my hands in my mouth. Oh God, what's going to happen to Glenn? And
right.
Those are compounding problems. That it's like because they did that, that's the reason we bitch so much about it. Is that we looked ahead to see sometime Glenn's going to be in genuine or mock danger, and this moment devalues that moment.
Yeah, and it did.
The other thing that I find profoundly upsetting is that Kirkman is going with the Negan pronunciation. They're pronouncing Negan as Negan.
Okay.
I
mean, to be fair, he did create the character. He did name the character.
Sure, but we also speak in English language where, we have words that have the knee sound, like Knee or Nee. Usually Neg is pronounced neg. And There's no diacribe. I just feel like it's a dirty pool to be doing that to me. So
hey, man, I've got a guy writing in named Devin. And his name's spelled Devynn. To me, that's divine. That's divine.
Are we
and
sure
he's probably
it's not?
a female.
Are we sure it's not? That's the thing.
We are.
It wouldn't be the first time that I gender bended unintentionally some fan mail.
No, he wrote in specifically to clear it out.
Oh.
So.
Well, you know what? I've lost a battle. I've now lost a war. I'm conceding gracefully. I'm going to pronounce Negan. However, in all show notes, he will be spelled Kneegan. That's the way I'll continue to protest. Hey, before we get to the action in the episode, just wanted to remind everybody, we're coming up on year 2 of the Bald Move Club experiment, and it's been really successful. And we've got some new content that we're debuting. We just debuted the Quit Your Pitching a couple weeks ago. We'll have a new episode out very soon. We're doing the first run Bald movies. We just did a full-on review and spoiler edition of Deadpool, the movie. We've got a bunch other cool movies coming out. You can only get the full spoiler review if you're a club member. We've got a bunch of other stuff coming down the pike that I don't want to talk about too much because I want to leave it as a surprise. But it's inexpensive. You can go to club.baldmove.com to sign up. It eliminates ads on your podcast. You don't have to hear me drone on about this shit anymore. It supports Bald Move. It gets you a lot of cool custom ways to engage with us and get custom content. And I think it's got a good value for the money. So check it out, club.baldmove.com. We'd really appreciate it. Shall we get to the actual episode proper?
Let's do it.
So they catch us up on the whole ambushed by Negan's men thing, which during the live watch, I remember we were busting their chops on it because it felt like, when you watch Rocky and Rocky 2 back to back, and it's like, wait a second, we just saw this. What the hell? But the way they packaged those 2 minutes last season was that these are a preview for the upcoming season, half season.
Kind of.
But now the way they're treating it as if that is actually a post-episode stinger.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it always was.
Yeah.
It's just a stinger.
Okay. Because it's just weird because now you've got, I feel like that could have gone seamlessly into that. And, what are the last scene on if not for this, so you don't have to sit through 2 minutes of old material to get to the good stuff.
Right. I think we have an email about this, but it does feel like they're really botching this mid-season disconnect, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've got fans really wanted a crazy go nuts finale for the mid-season there. They didn't give it to them, favoring instead to save it for this opener. They had this weird stinger thing that's like almost a teaser for next season. Like you said, it just feels weird. Like this artificial break in the mid-season feels wrong.
I remember thinking, we were actually discussing it on the live watch last night, that what would it be like if they had ended with Sam being torn apart by zombies? Because I figured as he's wandering off going, Mom,
right,
as they're stepping off the front fucking porch, that he wouldn't last 15 feet.
Uh-huh.
And now that I've seen the episode, I realize how much more they were doing with this moment.
Right.
But
it makes sense.
It makes sense, but on the other hand, it kind of doesn't in a way. Like, they try to do a lot to sell me why Sam broke down at that moment, which we'll talk about it when we get there. But
yeah,
I'm just thinking that, man, it might have been a much stronger finale if it had ended. Like, imagine if they ended the mid-season with Sam being torn apart and Carl turning around saying Dad with a giant wet hole in his eye where his eye socket's supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
That's a fucking cliffhanger.
That is. That's a serious cliffhanger.
And I don't know what you need to restructure to make that happen, but I feel like if you're just serving the story, that's kind of what you do.
They're not just serving the story is the problem.
I know.
They're serving AMC, and AMC just cares about the dollar.
So anyway, the mouth of Negan disarms our group and gives invaluable advice about eating shit. He's also got this weirdly kind of prissy, passive-aggressive attitude about the various lies they're trying to tell, which I actually thought this character was pretty entertaining.
I did too. I kind of like this opening scene here.
He was playing with them. Like, I need one of you alive. I probably should have killed you. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. He's the cat playing with his food.
Right.
He makes a fatal mistake of detailing just one guy to take Daryl around back to do an inventory of their shit. And then he gets blown up.
They all get blown up.
The whole group gets blown up.
It's pretty cool.
As
Daryl
Abraham
with an
says,
RPG.
nibble on this, which is a reference to the shitting advice.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I was noticing in second watch is it looked like the guy who was taking Daryl back was wearing some kind of bulky body armor.
Okay.
It could be just the kind of armor that you get on some motorcycle jackets, but it looked kind of like they were suggesting he was wearing, you know, like maybe even beyond police issue kind of body armor underneath that leather jacket, which might also explain Daryl's exasperated, like, some bitch was tougher than you look kind of comment.
Yeah.
Like he went to stab him, hit ceramic plate. Oh, fuck. You know?
Maybe.
I also, on the live watch, I guess this is an encoding problem, but the guy's head on flame, the mouth of Negan, I thought they were suggesting that he had already resurrected as a zombie and his eyes were moving around the socket. No.
I don't think so. No.
I think it was the trick of the encoding and also the heat shimmering off of the flames. Because they actually set a real fake head on fire.
A real fake head.
Well,
I know.
I mean, it's not CGI or anything, but they actually had like some kind of lump of silicon, and they set it on fire because there's realistic like heat shimmer and stuff coming off of there.
Yeah, no, that's the thing about Nicotero, right? He's not going to give you shitty, cheesy looking effects. He's going to go all out on those.
Day night stuff, you know. But yeah, he's not going to cheap out on the setting a fake head on fire.
Yeah.
Rick and company begin their long walk.
He just dug into his vault of fake heads. He didn't even have to make that prop for the set.
Sure. Rick and company begin their long walk through the horde of Alexandria. Sam, surprisingly at this point, seems fine. He's holding it together. Rick quickly realizes there's way too many zombies to head off with just a few flares, so he says, hey, we're not going to the armory. We're going to go to the quarry and get the vehicles we left behind there. And then we're going to go back into Pied Piper mode and round these guys up and wrangle them off.
That's fair.
Yeah, sure.
Not a bad plan.
Gabriel offers to take a little ass kicker and find shelter for her, which Rick pretty much takes at face value.
I think reluctantly. Like, there's some look on his face that says, God, I hope this works.
But he does say thank. I guess there's no... I'm just saying as a father, I wonder if Rick would have thought that she would be better off with Gabriel, or even though he's doing the more dangerous mission, she's also surrounded by people who genuinely care about her, who I know have backbones of steel and who will die to protect her, rather than Gabriel, who, you know, slips in the mud and throws the baby up in the air and just runs.
Right.
I don't know. Gabriel's really quickly going from complete coward to badass here. Not sure how I feel about it.
They all are, though. Like,
that's true. All of the Alexandrians are a bunch of idiots, and they've all swallowed bags of cement on the off season and gotten hard.
Yep.
So just again, it's bright and sunny out at this point.
Yeah, beautiful day.
Yeah. In the maximum security drywall prison, Rosita and Tara debate the merits of doing something heroic and stupid or waiting and playing it smart, to which I thank you, Rosita, because this is the kind of dialogue that the show almost never has.
Yeah.
The person wanting to do the understandably desperate thing to save someone they care about, and the other people like, no, you'll get us all killed, and their cooler heads prevailing. I don't know, I guess if this was Rick, she'd have been like, fuck it, and grabbed the hatchet and gone out there, but she's not, so... Carol and Morgan come to, and Morgan realizes the full extent of his fucking up, that he's let this wolf go, who's kidnapped the niece, and, you know, now Carol really wants to kill him.
Yeah, there are some changes of heart that I want to talk about later on.
Okay.
Which are interesting from kind of all sides of this thing.
So there is now a whole bunch of interspersed stuff about... there's a whole bunch of interspersed scenes now that have the wolf and Denise and the people and the rest of the group kind of interspersed really close together. I'm just going to tackle them as you know, as if they happen sequentially and not all cut together. The two scenes are the Denise and the wolf and Glenn and Enid. So Glenn and Enid go and plan to sack the church for usable weapons.
They've apparently heard about a Bible Glock somewhere.
No, Glenn just has the suspicion that desperate people holed up at a church would hoard some kind of useless supplies, including weapons, in perhaps a hollowed-out Bible. And they try to do some stuff with the dialogue here. It says, like, it just depends on who searched the building first, Heath or Aiden. You know, like, if Heath got here... then... But this is inside the walls of Alexandria?
Yeah.
Or are we still outside? We're inside the walls.
I think we're inside the walls.
Because
I mean, when they run up to Maggie, they run from
She's
inside the city.
Yeah. I mean, whoever ransacked the church first, these people have been living here for at least a year. Mm-hmm. So no one has gone through and cataloged and inventoried this church's possessions.
Maybe.
Also, why the fuck is Gabriel using a garage for a church when he's got a perfectly serviceable church here?
Right. That is a little weird to set up a makeshift church when you have an actual church.
Yeah.
Inside the walls.
I mean, maybe I missed all those conversations about whether we should use this common area as a rec room or use it for a church, but...
I don't think you did. I think they just didn't happen. And, yeah, it makes 0 sense to me how they have a church that they're not using.
What do you think of the meaning of the quote from James there, faith without works is dead?
I felt like it was a reminder for Enid to go out. Like... Okay, now she believes in this town, but she's got to show it. So go help with Maggie.
Okay. Because why did she start believing in the town?
Like, Glenn talked her into it. But over the course of their journey back.
Yeah.
Maybe between the gate and the church.
Or maybe she always believed in it. Like actually her running away was... I think they were trying to suggest that her running away was not her true self.
It was more reflexive than anything, I think. Yeah.
So Glenn also mentions it's going to get dark out soon, which
it is, buddy, real fucking
in the space
soon.
of a commercial break. They're also establishing in these shots that it's starting to rain. Like every time they show the high angle shot of the wolf and Denise, she's also kind of shivering. Like we debated like what her incessant shivering was all about last night. And I thought it read that she was kind of getting cold, which would make sense if she's being rained on, and she's also afraid. You said, well, maybe just because she's pants-shittingly afraid of the wolf.
But no, now, on second viewing, you might be right. She might be really cold with this rain shower.
But why would you introduce rain in an episode where they're trying to do the Guts Gambit?
Unless you want us to think, oh no, here comes the rain.
Yes.
But then you cut over to Rick and company, and they're...
fine.
They're wet. Like, you can see their hair is wet and
they're
stuff.
They're, like, sweaty.
But they still have all the guts on them.
Yeah.
Like, everything is fine.
And it's Sam whimpering that brings on the zombies, not...
Yeah.
And his whimpering triggered by... Like, I feel like they should have committed to the rain thing, honestly.
Well, it would have felt cheap if they went there again, to me. Unless they had a character who was like, oh, God, this again? Like, Rick's out there.
It's Georgia, they get a lot of rain in Georgia.
This happened last time. Probably, yeah.
I mean,
in the winter,
in the Midwest, I imagine.
In the winter, fall, spring months, probably.
Are we in the tough Georgia winter? It's
right
rains
now?
Without. I mean, not obviously right now, but I'm talking about in the episode.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly when we are.
So anyway, Enid, we've talked about this. But Enid calls Glenn on some of his bullshit over the last few episodes. Like, you're the one that talked me into coming back here, and how this would save my life, and now look.
Right.
And he says, he Obi-Wan Kenobi's her and says it was just a metaphor that, like, you carry the memory of your loved ones, and if you act in a way that betrays that memory, you erase it. You know what else erases loved ones' memories? Your brain dying.
Yeah.
And being reanimated by a zombie virus.
I like how she spins it around on him, right? Like,
sure.
Look, you convinced me of this shit. Now I'm going to act on it, and you can't get all huffy when I do.
Yeah, and then him trying... That's exactly right. Like, this is bullshit that's gone on for about 3 episodes too much. I'm tired unto death of characters trying to talk themselves out of equally heroic sacrifices. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Maggie being pregnant is about the only one that I will stomach from here on out because she's literally surviving for 2. Right. Everybody else has got equal amounts of ass on the line, so can we just stop this shit?
I feel like maybe the argument should now be more along the lines of, is this a worthy goal for my sacrifice?
And since the whole group's going to pitch in, you can't just say, well, it's just going to be me. This is on me. Like, you have to take communal responsibility for people. I would like an awareness of that too. So anyway, her job is to build a makeshift rope while Glenn is looking for his Bible Glock. The wolf teases Denise. I guess like it starts out this is the weird thing about this episode, which I think is strangely effective. Like, he starts out just fucking with her and ends up, I think, kind of falling for her.
He certainly sacrifices himself for her, which is out of Wolf character.
But there's this one long, like, uncomfortably long thing of him just kind of staring at her and smiling and kind of almost looking bashful. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's like when Bambi first found the skunk is what it was like. And
it felt too abrupt for me. Like,
unless this guy has, like, the mental capacity of, like, a 11-year-old.
He might.
And then I could see him falling in love for this person who's cared for him. And maybe this is the first time he's felt this kind of, like, selfless humanity. And he gloms onto that.
Here's the thing. Maybe I can pinpoint this to one of the things that I don't really care for about The Walking Dead. Nothing really feels all that earned. Like, those changes, they kind of oscillate in their positions.
Yeah, I'm trying to justify
often,
them here, but yeah.
And none of it ever really feels that earned. It's like I had a conversation with somebody and I've changed my mind. Well, that rarely happens in real life, where you have a conversation that's so profound that it changes your life. What happens is you have experiences, things that happen to you
that reinforce
change your mind over the course of time. And this show never really goes there. It always goes to the conversation and the highfalutin moralizing.
Well,
that convinces somebody.
If Scott Gimple were here in a chair, he'd say, "Well, you see, Jim, that's the reason we repeat these conversations so many times to accurately model someone's mind being changed over very long discourses."
But where are the works? Where are the works?
And
the
also
things that happen to them that cause the change.
Their character changes, like the character just tacks back and forth, and then they go on the new direction. It's like Eugene's a heroic, a coward, heroic, a coward, heroic, a coward, and now he's in the middle of taking another heroic turn here.
The thing that feels more natural to me is when a character resists change.
Yes.
Not oscillates back and forth between will I change, won't I change. Sure. Actively resist that change until they can't anymore because they're presented with new light. New shit has come to light, man. And now I have to change. I have no choice.
Yeah. So anyway, the other thing I thought, there was this comment where he says, I wasn't born this way. I changed. I want to help you to change, which I actually thought was a kind of neat idea. Like, I didn't know where they were going with this. I'm like, what if he gets her off to the wolf camp and where she, like, gets turned into... Would that be interesting to see someone like a Eugene or... Like, I don't know if Glenn or Rick could be turned. But like a Eugene
Morgan
or a
Tara
could go back. Or a... Morgan or Carol.
Clearing again.
Carol
might be a candidate.
To see, like, an extended half season long of them being kind of the same way Game of Thrones of Theon. Like, someone gets turned from one thing to another. Like, that'd be kind of interesting. Oh, they're going to go there. No, they don't. But it was a neat idea, and they have these just, again, incredibly long cuts of the wolf just creeping Denise the fuck out. So it's a commercial break, and it has gotten instantly pitch black dark over the course of the commercial break.
And they're still walking holding hands, so not much time has passed.
It's also completely stopped raining. Everything's dried out. Sam picks this inopportune moment to mediate on Carol's threats. And I think what triggered him is that he sees a child walker.
He does, yeah.
And they kind of linger on that, and that's like, that starts having him reflect and kind of... So I guess that makes sense.
I think so.
I don't know that it's satisfying, but they do the minimum necessary on screen to communicate what the fuck is actually... Why has he started the change? And it's dark now, I guess. Dark is scarier for kids.
Sure. I thought it worked pretty well.
Yeah, and they have
on second watch.
They have a pretty nifty zombie montage where they're gnashing their teeth and you know, doing smash cuts to them, growling and shit. And he starts whimpering and is instantly beset upon on all sides by zombies.
I think I know why it turns day to night instantly.
Why?
They needed it so the fire would look cool.
But you didn't have to turn instantly. Like, it could have been dusk in this scene.
Right. Fair enough.
And
but once they get halfway
break,
through the filming and they're like, oh shit, it's still
you got 30
broad
minutes
daylight.
Till Daryl and his fucking truck comes up, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, but they had to make it go to night later on because A, it's scarier, and B, fire.
No, what I couldn't get enough of on my subsequent watches was Michonne giving the best, oh man, this is completely fucked looks I've ever seen. And it just gets more deranged. Her eyes get bigger. They're like cue balls by the end of the episode when Rick goes running out there and she's in a frenzy. It's pretty crazy.
I think Denai Guerrera and Andrew Lincoln do some really strong work in this episode.
And I think I feel vindicated as a Rashone shipper.
Why is that?
Because I feel like her reaction to getting out there and saving Rick is specific to Rick. Her urgency and the fact that the only thing that stayed her was the fact that like this is his son, that we're trying to save here. I feel like that there is more than just brotherly and sisterly affection between them.
Yeah, and they've done a pretty good job building that through the seasons.
I agree. That this is that would be the hilarious thing if Rick and her both get other love interests because they've beautifully constructed this believable relationship between these two characters, and then like Rick needs to get with the white woman, she needs to get with the black man. Like if they do that, fuck you guys.
There's only one black man left, right? No, Heath is still in the mix.
That's true. Heath
could be
Morgan.
Heath or Gabriel or Morgan.
Yeah.
They're all over the place now, but they're sure to die soon enough.
None of them are as cool as Rick.
Gabriel already set the wheels in motion for his death.
Yeah.
He got a few extra lines this episode, some heroics. He's going to die soon.
What'd you think of Rick reliving a bunch of hot Jesse flashbacks that then turn to like Kill Bill vision when he starts hacking at her arms off? Also, what do you think of the idea of her as she's being consumed by zombies keeping an iron grip on the 14, 15-year-old Carl?
Like Carl didn't even try to wrench away. He was just staring at his hand going, "Oh God."
Yeah.
He could have wrenched out of that. Come on.
Maybe it was too much. Maybe it was too much for him, even.
I thought maybe he didn't want to move because they might start attacking him if he did sudden herky-jerky movements.
There again, like I feel like the filming in this scene in particular was fairly sloppy. Like, it's a compelling idea with what happened with Ron's sudden betrayal and shooting Carl's eye out. But... just everything about it, the way it was staged, the way it was shot. Honestly, it would have been better in dusk because we could have seen a lot more of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like where people are standing, where Carl was in relation to his dad. Like that would have been a lot more clear.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't really need it to be all that clear. I thought it worked decently well.
So Ron has had enough of Rick's shit after he sees him cutting his mom's arm off, and now the rest of his family's died. He's going to shoot Rick, but Michonne stabs him first, and he kind of, as he's dying, he shoots off to the side, blows Carl's eye socket out.
Right.
And
I'm awarding Zombie Kill of the Week here to the zombies for taking out the entire Anderson family. Just done. Forget about them.
Yep. And now Michonne goes into high gear, this is fucked mode, and just starts hacking and slashing anything. Opinion. Do you think that she's going to have any guilt over how this thing went down?
Guilt. Why would you say that?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's rational or not because guilt rarely is, but I think you can make the case that if she had just kept her cool and let maybe Rick could have talked Ron down, because Ron didn't seem like he was on the verge of shooting. He was just having a highly emotional reaction to his mom and little brother being killed, and maybe arguably aided and abetted by Rick. I wonder if Rick could have been like, "Hey, son, put the gun down." Like, whether the zombies would have allowed that, I don't know, but I'm saying I wonder if Michonne will feel guilty that she stabbed Rick or Ron shot Carl, that kind of thing. Do you think Rick will feel sore at her about it?
I don't... That's a good question. I don't imagine that he will, but I guess there's room for it to happen. Like, she did, not purposefully and not directly, but she indirectly caused Carl to
Which
get
is
shot.
Always what fucks with you when you're dealing with guilt.
Right.
So I think I could see her feeling guilty about it and Rick trying to, absolve her of the
I'll
guilt,
say this.
and then them having a hot sex scene.
Okay.
Over Carl's eyeless corpse, no.
Oh, God.
That would be Game of Thrones.
No, he's not a corpse yet. Give him some time.
Yep.
I'll say this. I don't think she has cause to. I don't think she should feel guilty about it, but she might.
Okay.
She might.
And
that would be understandable.
That would be a nice character moment between them.
Okay.
Because I don't think Rick would like completely, no, you not your fault. You helped save us. You saved us all. That kind of stuff.
Maybe I shouldn't have taught that kid how to shoot and given him a gun and
or maybe
tried
I
to
should
be
have shot
his
him
new
and
daddy
shoot better, and he would have hit me in that car.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't go over that crucial when you're stabbed through the aorta and you're losing consciousness to keep that sight picture.
It's important.
Back at the drywall prison, Eugene tries to figure out which end of the machete he's supposed to use while trying to talk tough for Rosita, who is not buying it. That's what he's trying to do. Like, hey, I'm ready to kick ass out there, Sarge. And she's like, get the fuck out of here. I got a free tip for Eugene. You want to look like a badass? It's just a haircut and wearing a proper pair of fucking pants away, man.
Yeah, maybe get some dress blues. There you go.
Or jeans, some Carhartts,
right?
Overalls, even. Otis rocked that shit. Like these cargo shorts and the mullet. It's got to go.
Shave your head, grow some lobes.
You're looking like a Bermuda version of MacGyver, man. This has got to go.
Tommy Bahama version of MacGyver.
So the wolf is talking some shit about Denise's friends, thinking they'd put up a fight because he's hearing this gunshots and screaming, and she slings it right back at him, and he reiterates that they've been waiting lo these hours for a gap to appear that they can shoot through and get to the tower and climb over the wall.
Yeah, so I assume they've been waiting like 10 minutes.
Right. And I'm like, dude, gap or get off the pot. You can't just be sitting here through a whole day-night cycle telling this poor girl who's not even shaking. She's not even shivering anymore. You know, your creepiness is lessening by the minute here. You got to go. Again, I think he takes a shine to her because he decides that this gap is good enough. It's not big enough. They hit zombie resistance almost immediately. He's kind of fighting his way through, but she just, you can tell she hasn't sat through any machete lessons, and she's she's ready to give up the ghost the second the zombie grabs her, and he sacrifices himself to save her.
Surprisingly. Like, at this moment, I was like, did she change his mind? What happened here?
Well, even the way he was trying to encourage her to run, I feel like that he was... I can't shake the feeling that he was taking a shine to her. Now, it's irrelevant because he dies in this episode.
Right.
I wonder how she'll feel about that. It seems like this is... Something about this, her getting a mastery of her fear, and maybe that was what the shaking was all about, her having kind of like a panic reaction. Mm-hmm. That whatever this wolf experience helped her get over her fear and self-doubt.
And she does. She springs into action, which I really enjoyed seeing. Denise is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters.
Love Denise.
Yeah. But I think maybe I tuned out a lot of this stuff because it was just belaboring the point so much. Like, they just constantly hit this, like...
The last three
Wolf,
scenes they
Denise,
had together...
moralizing stuff. I just tune it out. I watched it twice, and I tuned it out both times.
No, there was 3 scenes where the camera work was the same, the dialogue was mostly the same, and their back and forth is the same. You're entirely right. And that's this movie was 7 minutes long... this episode is 7 minutes longer than normal.
Oh.
And... I feel like there was definitely fat to be trimmed.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people, and we'll get to this in feedback, but a lot of people were saying, like, for such an action-packed episode, it felt oddly like it dragged.
Yeah.
A little in some places.
At the drywall clink, Morgan tries to make up and bond with Carl, but she's not having it. She says, you saved the wolf for yourself, not us, which she's got him dead to rights, and says that she should have killed him. And I don't think she's wrong.
I agree with her, yeah.
And he says, you can't, Carol, to which she just whips around and blows his head right off.
That would have been the proper response.
That would have been the shit, wouldn't it have?
Yeah, and then she says, nibble on this. I don't know.
Yeah, she says nibble on this. She teabags him. She clam slams him and says, nibble on this. Yeah, that's exactly what she would do.
I don't know. It's that. How interested are you in this? Should we, shouldn't we kill?
I'm
thing?
Pretty sure I went on record like 10 weeks ago saying I'm fucking over it.
Yeah.
Like the extended debate they're having is uninteresting to the max. I'm entirely on Carol's side. And she's kind of a borderline psychopath at this point. So Morgan really has to put up an uncompelling argument. It's a purely selfish act. I mean, totally. Carol has him pinned.
Yeah. No, she's absolutely right. But there's something inside her that won't let her kill Morgan.
Well, because she's a good person who's worth saving and not endangering by throwing a psychopath in there that you haven't told anyone about. This is
I know, but like
this is arguably worse than what she did by killing the 2 inmates that were infected, right? She did that unilaterally without anyone's knowledge, but it's not like that kind of thing could spiral out of control. It's not like she killed 2 people and then suddenly 16 more people are going to die. Him taking this wolf in the walls is that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get, like, I know they've gone over and over this thing, and this question of should we or shouldn't we kill has been kind of done to death over the last few episodes. But it is one of the more interesting questions, and it's one of those things that we're talking about, like, for the good of the group, what actions need to be taken.
Yeah.
This is not like this is not like the Enid and Glenn situation, which is starting to really make me roll my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like, what is for the greater good, you know, and when is it worth it? And like, I kind of like that basic question. I just don't know if I need it hammered on over and over.
I think there needs to be more shades of gray. Not, I mean, and maybe the writers think that this is a shades of gray situation, to which I think, really?
It kind of is, but...
Are you living in this world? How is it a shade of gray? How can you justify
because she won't kill him. Right, but how much danger is the community in when one guy refuses to kill? And I know he brought the wolf in, and that's unforgivable. That right there should get him killed.
So you're saying, I think,
but like that's over with now, right? Like now the decision is: do we kill the man? Do we bring these consequences down on him?
I mean,
his
so if Morgan
actions?
had like a bandolier of wolves on his chest, being like, "I want to set them all free," like Carol takes the shot. But I feel like that she's kind of thinking that surely this stupid man is going to see. And, like, I've made mistakes.
Probably, yeah.
That endangered the group, and I've all not been my best self this entire time. Maybe that's what's staying her hand, because I do think that Morgan, if he has the misfortune of fucking up like this again, Carol will absolutely don the hood and become the executioner.
Yeah.
Unilateral or not.
You're right. She will.
I mean, it's funny that in, like, 4 or 5 episodes, Morgan's become almost more annoying than Father Gabriel.
It's surprising.
Anyway,
but I think you're right.
Denise and the wolf make it across the garage. I missed pointing out the fact that the reason they're doing this is because she pledged to save his life if she can get him to the infirmary. And it looks like she's trying to make a tourniquet on his arm with a belt to try to slow down the infection. And presumably she'd wing that, she'd whip that arm right off, and maybe he'd be saved. Who knows?
Yeah, worked for Herschel.
Yes. Well, that was a lot quicker of a thing, but
yeah, it was.
But anyway, they made it to this makeshift community room thing that we've talked about a few times, which is apparently just across the street from the infirmary. And they're about to go across the street when there's a zombie attack, and also Carol just takes the wolf out, just plugs him twice in the chest, thinking that,
smart. I still say smart.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Was Denise rope-a-doping the wolf, knowing that she was making them go back into a circle to take them back to the drywall prison? I think the drywall prison and the infirmary and pantry are kind of all adjacent.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know the geography.
I don't either, but it seems...
Even though Deanna drew a map.
I don't think so, because I feel like her reaction to him changing was genuine.
I thought so too.
But it was in the back of my mind. I wonder if she intended it, because, Carol's right there to take the shot. And you think in Carol's mind, this has got to be like such a stroke of luck.
Right.
Like, holy shit, the prodigal wolf returns. Kablam.
And I can save Denise in the process. Like, I'm doing a great thing here. And I think she is.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, shoot him, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially not knowing whatever kind of bullshit change of heart he's had.
Sure. And even if Denise had been like, no, you got it. No, after she's been through this shit with Morgan, no way. This actually shocks Denise, which is why I think that this was not like a put-on act. It shocks her until both Carol and the wolf both say, go! Mm-hmm. And she does.
And the wolf, like, tackles a walker out of the way. Because
he's dead.
Dying moments.
He's dead anyway, so he kind of gets a heroic turn. I guess he gets to go to Valhalla.
He does. He clearly saves her life a couple of times. So... honest change of heart on the wolf's part.
I wonder if they're setting up something here where Carol and Morgan are going to have some kind of trial, like official Alexandria trial, and Denise is going to be like, well, in his last moments, he saved my life and he did this, so it's very arguable that what Morgan was doing is correct.
Okay. I could see where this thing would get real divisive.
Yeah. So, I mean, from the seeds of this kind of disaster, maybe something interesting will grow. Who knows?
Yeah.
So Aaron, Heath, and Denise are in the infirmary, and they see Rick and Michonne tear-assing over with Carl in tow. And she almost has a panic attack, Denise does, because she sees this before she gets her shit together and says, nope, and just takes total command of the situation.
Yep.
Rick gets in there. He finds Carl as being as cared for as best as he can. And decides, you know what? Time to trot out the classic psychotic break. And he goes out there single-handedly he's back in the tombs, man.
Phone in hand.
Welcome to the tombs. He's just going to go crazy. Yeah. Yep. He's got the hatchet in one hand and Ma Bell in the other. Just left, right.
I thought it was appropriate.
Sure.
You know, this happened last time when he lost Lori. He potentially has lost his only remaining family member. No, I'm sorry. Judith is still around, but he probably lost her too because Gabriel's got her.
Yeah, you can just assume.
So he assumes he's lost everyone he's ever loved.
Yep.
And now he goes out, he goes crazy. I liked it.
Yeah, no, he's gone through psychotic breaks when he had an infant daughter and young son depending on him before. Like, this is kind of what Rick does. So I don't mind it.
And then the group always chips in and helps him out.
Classic return to form.
I like that too. I like that they're not just going to let crazy Rick go die.
Sure. Michonne is absolutely losing her shit now that her man's out there risking his life, and she's stuck in here helping essentially tie knots with Denise. Whereas Denise quite reasonably points out, well, this is his son. What do you think he'd want you to do? Meanwhile, Spencer, Heath, and Aaron are taking note of Rick's psychotic heroics, and they decided they don't want him to go out like that. So they go rush to help him. And Rick, we see kind of a montage of him inspiring people. Like, people look out the windows and they're like, that's it. Let's get our kitchen knives and our fucking machetes. Let's head out there. He insists that we can beat him. Gabriel's moved too, and he hands off Judith to one of his prayer circle people. And who's the other guy? The big construction guy.
I forget his name.
Mr. Carhart.
Yeah, he's
God
just a
damn
big
it, 'cause
construction
I was
dude.
talking-
Big dopey construction guy.
Yeah, he was the right-hand man of the other guy whose name I've forgotten.
Yeah, he did a little bit of pep talking
Reg's right-hand man.
End of last season with Rick.
Talbot?
That sounds right.
Let's call him,
I don't know.
Or just stick with Mr. Carhart.
I've got it open here. I could probably tell you.
Okay. Well, anyway, they're trying to talk some sense into Gabriel, and he's like, look, I just got a communication from God, and he says, good news, y'all, you're already saved because I'm inspiring the courage in you to go out there and save the town yourself.
Right.
So,
which is how God does things.
That's true. He helps you help yourself. And to the extent that you help yourself, you tend to get helped. And that's how that stuff works. So Morgan finds the wolf zombie and says he's sorry before dispatching him. And there was enough of a pause there that I'm like, I really hope he bites you right in the dick, Morgan. I hope he bites you in the dick, because that's what you deserve.
So this reminded me of season 1, when Rick says, I'm sorry to Bicycle Girl, I think it is. It's reminded me a lot of that. And their characters are, inextricably tied through season 1. So I feel like that's what they were trying to evoke here a little bit.
It's dumb because that was episode 1, season 1. This is episode 9, season 6. There's been a lot of
it's not
a lot of emotional and topographical geography
close,
to go through. I mean,
it's true, but I couldn't help but think about it.
Yeah, no,
right?
You're
it's
right.
The same line.
Thematically, it's satisfying.
Yeah, I just what is he apologizing for here? Is he apologizing for killing him?
Failing him
as a walker? Right? Is he apologizing for not killing him and letting him become a walker?
Nah, I think it's just failing him. Like
couldn't save you.
If I was as good as Tabitha's daddy, I would have been able to save you. I could have talked sense in you sooner, and maybe you could have stood with us instead of against us, and none of this would have happened.
Okay,
that's my,
Yeah, I could buy that.
But who can tell the mind of a Morgan, honestly? Glenn and Enid's plan goes fairly well, which is she's going to climb up the walls because she's all shifty that way.
That half of it goes well.
And brings Maggie some makeshift rope while Glenn distracts the local elements of the herd, which goes too well. He's got like a sizable portion of them.
Yeah, and he gets cornered.
Yep, he's just about to get overwhelmed. And again, I could not get into this because I was just in disbelief. There's no way no way you
just full auto.
There's no way you kill Glenn this close to having him be redeemed and talking all this shit to Enid. And there's just no way. And then sure enough, Abraham and Sasha take some pretty risky shots.
Very risky.
But on the other hand, he was going to die. So
sure. What's the point? What's the point in holding back at that moment?
Yeah.
I was kind of curious about Enid's plan here. She goes up. She has this makeshift rope thing that she's made out of, I don't know, Glenn's underwear. And...
It looked like it was actually priestly vestments.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like that. That was whatever that purple sash that the priest wear. That was a prominent part of it. Some flags, I think.
Huh.
So.
I think it would have Church worked. And state getting intermingled there. Is that what you're telling me?
Sure.
But no, she goes up there and like there's this lip on the fence that is perfectly sturdy and stable.
Uh-huh.
It seems like if I'm Maggie, I want to be up on that.
But that's what happened. Somehow one of those supporting posts last season or last half season collapsed and was putting her in a precarious position. It was starting to collapse.
Yeah, but
no longer safe.
So there's a distinction.
You could
to be
just
made
straddle
here.
the wall, like sit on it with your crotch riding the lit.
But you don't have to. Did you see the thing that Enid walks down? Like she doesn't climb up the ladder to get onto this thing.
Uh-huh.
She climbs up like a part of the wall.
Yeah,
and then goes up through this little hole and walks down like a castle wall type thing. Yeah.
I know. I didn't see that. I thought she was like putting her feet on the structural steel that was.
Yeah, but there's that like parapet looking thing up there. Why doesn't Maggie jump on that instead of the shaky ass platform, wooden bullshit platform she's on?
Okay, I thought that's kind of what she was on.
No.
I must have. It was dark. In my defense, it was pitch black.
It was very dark.
So anyway, there's a pretty funny scene. Abraham and Sasha show up with their automatic weapons, and as they clear out the area, Abraham says, "Can you open the gate? I appreciate it, pal." Like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff.
I like it.
Big dumb Abe having fun.
Yeah,
like big dumb Abe does. Daryl pulls in with the tanker car after Glenn lets him in, floods the retention pond with gas, lights it up controversial, at least in our two-man survey, with an RPG round.
Yeah, so,
There are so many things you can light something with.
Right, but, okay, I've reversed my position after, like, during the live watch, I was like, what the fuck, why is he lighting this with an RPG?
Okay.
After thinking about it, time is of the essence here.
Okay.
Everyone is being swarmed. Maggie's about to be killed. Like, all these things. You just light it with anything you got. And I don't think any of these characters are smokers, are they? Has Abraham been smoking? Does anybody have, like, a lighter on them? Maybe not.
I would think a lighter you'd have on you just because it's so practical in survival purposes.
Right.
Or
but I'm guessing no one does.
Are you telling me that old-ass fuel tank doesn't have a cigarette lighter? Guy had to unplug for his cell phone. And
maybe. I don't know. Clearly, they didn't have anything else to light it with. Otherwise, why the fuck do you light it with an RPG round?
I mean, when's the last time a car was manufactured with a cigarette lighter?
They're still being... Well, not with the actual push thing. They have the connector.
Well, that's just for plugging your cell phones in.
Right.
I haven't seen something since like the late 80s that actually has a cigarette.
You have to special order those now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I bet you just can buy them off Amazon.
Well, that's a special. It doesn't come stock.
True. The OEM one will set you back $179, but you can get it on Amazon for $5.
So I'm chalking it up to shit. I don't have matches or a lighter. Let's just do this.
Okay.
And everyone's about to die. We need to do this now. You can't run to the armory and get a lighter.
I know. I just feel like Daryl's the kind of guy that could make fire with a bucket of water and an icicle. You know, he's one of those survival guys.
That might take a while.
That would take a while too, but you know, he's got something.
He has an RPG.
He has an RPG, and he did use it, and it
he made fire.
Worked. So the zombies are lured in like moths to the flame, which you got to like. We are not fighting the entire horde. The vast majority of the horde was successfully Pied Piper down the road, so we're dealing with the remnants of that horde.
Right,
maybe 20%, 25% max. And then the survivors are dealing with the leftovers from the zombies that didn't walk into the fire.
Right.
So I felt like the ensuing... Now, I feel like Rick was going to die. Like, all of these people would have died had Daryl and Abraham and Sasha not shown up.
Uh-huh.
Which means that Rick could have kept everybody safe inside, and this would have gone down even better. Except for... Maybe Glenn doesn't get the Maggie, but that didn't help. Glenn getting Maggie was not helped by Rick's commando expedition at all.
No. The fire, it was already over with by the time the fire was set.
Yeah, because I think if any one of those things didn't happen, they get overrun.
Yeah, I'm with you. After the second viewing, I think it's much more believable with the fire going and it attracting a good chunk of the walkers.
Agreed.
Probably the majority of them.
Agreed.
It's more believable.
So it's just, and then we get to a zombie cleanup montage where everybody's getting like a zombie Zumba type workout. Just
kind of cool.
They're going Billy Banks on them.
I like the editing here.
I did too.
I thought doing just cutting between everybody really fast.
The first person or zombie POV of everybody getting their licks in.
Yeah,
and there's everybody like. At least one or two people I don't think I've ever seen before. You got Eugene prominently in there kicking ass.
There's like a pixie
Father
cut
Gabriel
girl
kicking ass. Yeah,
from the construction site.
Yeah,
I think she's still alive. I thought I saw her in there.
I don't think anyone died. I didn't think they lost a single person. Which after the Wolf and Jesse and Ron and Sam died,
right?
Which I don't know if that's believable. That no one died in this action.
I don't know. Maybe. It seemed to me like, aside from so they've all had at least a couple of training sessions, right, with Rosita. They're starting to become a little bit more. They're proving their mettle here.
Sure.
I'm okay with nobody dying, especially with the style they were going for. Like sometimes, it's the rule of cool, and
if anybody died, it would have been no one we'd known about.
Yeah, and it would have interrupted the flow of that scene. And I think that was a wise decision not to kill anyone there. Just have it be cool.
All right. So the next morning, there is dead literally everywhere. But it looks like all the townsfolk survived the night, as we discussed. Rick confesses to a semi-conscious Carl that he was wrong about the people not being able to change. He sees what is now possible when we all work together.
Show him the new world.
He's feeling a feeling he hasn't felt in years, which he doesn't really articulate.
A little crazy tickling in the back of his head.
I'm guessing that feeling is hope. Like, really, Farmer Rick didn't feel hope?
How long has it been since the farm? Has it been years? I know it's been a year.
It's been
because they've had the season of the gun
I've
planting.
Seen is 2.5 years.
Okay,
but he says before he woke up from that coma.
Yeah,
so he has not felt hope since. That could be hyperbole.
Sure, but I think this is a really strong scene. Yeah. I think Andrew Lincoln just crushes this scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was pretty stagey.
Okay.
It's hard.
I thought it was real good.
It's hard to act across from a comatose teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't feel like he's mastered the art of emoting through a thick Southern accent. Like he can do
that's fair
anger and but the grief is where it kind of where he has to say something. Like if he's just crying, Yeah,
I guess I
cry in his Southern accent. He just can't give a stirring speech in one.
I guess I understood all the things going on in his head in this scene. And
sure.
So like him effectively conveying those things made it feel to me like he did a great job, because you get like that kind of sense of like the sense of hope that he did have when he was in Alexandria and he wanted to show Carl this new world and it could have been great. And that's all potentially been dashed here, right? Like they've saved the town, but now he might have lost Carl. So like it's this really bittersweet moment for him.
Sure.
And I felt like he conveyed that really well.
But he's also trying to talk him out of a coma, I guess. He's saying, Carl, I want to show you this new world and make it a reality. And we see that Carl at least partially responds by gripping his hand.
He's not going to be able to see it very well. Regardless of whether he lives.
My new world requires depth perception, Carl's bad news. Bad news. I made a joke last night that Enid came in and said, hey, Carl, Enid wanted me to tell you that she could only love a two-eyed man. Thought it was best for you not to get your hopes up, son. She requires the loving of a man with two functional eye sockets, Carl. Carl. Don't leave me, Carl. He starts a flatline. His fingers flex into a middle finger.
I don't understand. Why is this happening?
Come back to the light, Carl. We can find you a one-eyed girl who loves you.
Oh, shit.
All right. so that's the episode, man. I assume we have people's thoughts and opinions other than ours that would like to share them with us and the world at large.
Oh, we have a ton.
Do we?
We have a ton.
A metric ton?
A huge ass load of stuff.
None of it's imperial.
Actually,
imperial
no,
units.
it's not a huge ass load. It's less than usual because we're doing this day early, for people who didn't know.
Yep. This podcast is sponsored by Audible this week, the world's premier outlet for spoken word audio content, including fiction, nonfiction. They have over 180,000 titles, unabridged titles, and you can get a free 30-day sample at audiblepodcast.com/baldmove. They had something I was kind of excited to talk about because, as you know, if you've been listening to this podcast, Audible's supported us for a long time, and I've been making book recommendations for a while, and I believe that either a year or two ago, I recommended Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn trilogy.
Right.
And I got into that myself. And what attracted me to the series was the reputation that this had like a rock-solid magical mechanical universe. Like the rules were elegant, and there's stuff that like it's grounded in like principles of science and you know, as close as magic can be. And I thought that was a really compelling facet of the universe. And I burned through the first 3 books in the Mistborn trilogy, aided and abetted by Audible service. What's awesome about that is that I had them all on my Kindle. I purchased them as audio, and also purchased the audiobooks with my Audible membership, and it seamlessly synchronizes the two services. So like I prefer to read with my eyeballs, and you know, when I'm going to bed I can read, and then when I get up and I get into my car and I commute, it'll synchronize my cell phone that has the Audible stuff synchronized to it, so it'll start reading and just pick off right where I left off. It's awesome.
That is cool.
And I've consumed a lot of stuff that way. I know you've been into it. But I didn't proceed into the next trilogy because I heard that instead of continuing the stories of Vin and Elend and Sazed, all the characters that I'd gotten attached to, that this skipped ahead several hundred years, doing, you know, the far-flung sequel thing where all these people are now, you know, legends and mysteries, and the
whole new set of characters.
And the setting was now like 19th century America with this Mistborn, you know, allomancy magical system in place.
That kind of sounds interesting too.
Yeah, but I like, you know what? I want to see how this trilogy shakes out. The final book, or I think it's the final book, the third part of the trilogy just got released at the tail end of this January.
Bands of Mourning,
and it's already got the audiobook. It's still read by Michael Kramer. He's the same guy that's read all 6 at this point. So if you're familiar with the service from the time before, you'll be right at home. And I looked at the reviews. The reviews are really good. Even though it's a new cast of characters and all that. So I think I'm going to start plowing into it, but I want to make you guys all aware that that's one of the new premier flagship things on Audible. And if you want to check it out, you can get, again, a free 30-month trial by going to audiblepodcast.com/baldmove.
30-month trial? I think that's a little excessive.
Did I say 30-month?
Like, I don't know how desperate they are to get new users, but a 30-month trial seems like a long trial.
That is a 30-day trial that you can get at audiblepodcast.com/baldmove.
That's more reasonable.
To access any one of the 180,000 audiobooks they got on there. And we certainly appreciate Audible for their long-term support of Bald Move.
Shall we start with feedback?
Let's do it.
Start off with one from our previous cast, our preview thing. From Beth. She was happy to hear me ship Daryl and Aaron. She says, I shipped them so fucking hard because I'm a horrible person. I'm waiting for Eric to die.
That's Aaron's boyfriend.
Yes, Eric.
Aaron and Eric, okay.
I was so hoping to see his name on the wall after the wolf attack, but alas. Also, while I do agree with you that both Daryl reads as asexual, it is possible for an asexual person to be in a fulfilling relationship with a sexual person. Fulfilling for who?
Well,
I mean, open relationship, maybe.
No, like
it can't be. If you're a sexual person,
if you're asexual, it means you have an absence of desire, not that you're so repulsed that if I know, like,
desire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe you really like
right.
getting foot massages, or you really like giving foot massages, but you don't like getting them. Like you don't like people touching your feet, but if your partner wants their feet touched, you could touch your feet for them.
Okay.
I don't know.
If your partner is Jules.
I don't know, but yeah, like definitely. I could see someone like I'm going to
foot fucking massage master.
I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and give Aaron a handy because I know that's what he wants.
Okay.
And what I want is poorly made spaghetti. So it's like a symbiotic relationship.
She says, also, the actor who plays Aaron has said in interviews that if Eric were to die, he believes his character would gravitate towards Daryl as a partner when he was ready to move on. Clock's ticking, Eric. Tick-tock. I could see Eric go. Eric's done nothing important.
Yeah, I mean, Eric is definitely the least established character at this point.
Was he out there swinging a weapon in that montage thing? I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either.
But it's tough to tell.
Maybe he was rapid. He was bouncing baby Judith on his knee. Someone's got to do it.
I guess so. Denise could have done it.
I want to know, how bad did you feel if you were the 4 or 5 Alexanders that didn't go out into the fray? Like, one of you had to stay with Judith. So whoever's holding Judith, you get to pass. But the rest of you fuckers got to feel pretty.
Yeah.
You Tobins and you other people who aren't the pixie haircut girl.
At least nobody died, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, if someone had died and they come back and we're like, we could have used at least 4 more people. That would have saved...
4 more people would have made our success a certainty.
Yeah.
Unless Patricia died, nobody cares about Patricia.
Sure.
She's just the pantry bitch.
Dan from Philly says, hey guys, great episode. Just what this show should be. Tension, children getting their face chewed off, and of course, unexplained segs from day to night. This show does it to me all the damn time. I'm ready to bail, and we get an episode that just sucks you in. Unfortunately, AMC was running a marathon, and it just reminded me how awful the last 6 were. So I'm going to keep hope alive and pray that they kill off that fucking Morgan by the end of the season. It sounds like Dan's got conflicted feelings about this show.
I think a lot of people do.
Me too, yeah.
And I think they could redeem... Morgan's easily redeemable. He's got to stop doing stupid shit.
Right.
And just start swinging his stick around. Because everybody likes seeing Morgan
Shut your mouth, swing your stick.
Speak softly or not at all, and carry your big stick. And...
it's problem solved.
Proud of us. Neither one of us made that into a dick joke.
Michael P. says, I like this episode, but I have a problem with the fact that Greg Nicotero is the show's most frequent director. Is that true?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's the most frequent, but he is a frequent director.
Yes.
He says, I think he does a nice job, but do you think Vince Gilligan would ever let the fucking makeup lady or dude direct an episode?
If he thought they could do a good job.
I do know that they have actors. Like, a lot of shows have the actors direct.
Yeah.
Like, I know in the X-Files.
Or Mad Men, Jesus. Like,
Mad Men,
Slattery got one.
Didn't Lane?
Yes.
Lane Price?
Yes,
Jared
he got
Wilson?
one.
Jared Harris? Jared Harris.
Ham did one.
Right. Yeah. So, but actors are more like in tune, I guess, with, the actual story and what's going on and stuff, whereas makeup people are typically not. But I feel like Nicotero is more involved directly with a lot of this show. Like, he's one of the lines of continuity.
I think they made him an executive producer, too.
They did, yeah.
And it, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. He's not, I don't think he's a naturally gifted director. I think he does an okay job. And
I wonder what his constraints are, like, budget-wise and shooting-wise. Because, I mean, clearly there are a lot of problems here that could have been solved with a couple of reshoots.
Sure. Well, and that's one of the reasons that Vince Gilligan and the Wiener very rarely directed more than one episode per season, and neither did Ham or Slattery or any of those guys, because they always said it's a killer.
Yeah,
it's a killer when you're the head writer / showrunner / leading man.
It's too much,
and you have to be on both sides of the glass. It's really hard. And I imagine Nicotero. Now, I mean, how much of the day-to-day splattering on zombie stuff do you think he's responsible for now? Do you think he just sketches out and plans stuff, and is he kind of just approving designs? Because there's no way he's actually doing the bulk of the effects work and also directing and executive producing and all that stuff.
No, he's got like an effects crew.
Yeah,
that he's trained over the years.
Yeah, he's trained these guys, and he's got them kind of squared away, and he probably does quality control, and he probably is crucial to brainstorming all the different kind of things that they get up to.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Dan Snow. Used his last name because it's not his real last name. He's doing a Game of Thrones thing.
You know nothing, Dan Snow.
Right.
Why are we reading our email?
He says, thought tonight was a pretty good premiere. Good action, funny lines, the eating shit in big piles thing. Good tense moments. Abraham and Sasha saved by badass Daryl. Glenn using another one of his 9 lives. Carl somehow surviving.